Good evening, everyone. We are Group 5 of BIS in 2A, and today we will presenting healthcare teams, IT teams, listservs, and news groups. In this discussion, we will explore the different teams involved in healthcare of the role of IT teams and the significance of listservs and news groups. But first, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Bobby Joshua Egoleng, along with my group members, Mabaza Lynette Kyle, Magrata Charmaine Ann, Mihia Sirin, Sartani Smart Justin, Tabukol Daniela May, Tubay Michelle Rose, and lastly, Value Jenny Lee. Now let's begin with our first topic, Hospital Information System, which will be presented by Ms. Mabaza.
Good evening, everyone. So, what is a hospital information system or HIS and how does it function within a healthcare setting? So, these are computer based software applications that integrate many medical, nursing, and administrative and miscellaneous functions of hospitals. It combines computer technology and communications to acquire and integrate financial and clinical data. So, a hospital information system is essentially a collection of software applications designed to manage various functions within a hospital. Think of it as a backbone of a hospital's operations, integrating everything from patient care to administrative tasks. Next, the key features of HIS are: first, we have integration of functions. This combines multiple aspects of hospital management, including medical, nursing, and administrative tasks. This means that doctors, nurses, and administrative staff can access the same information, leading to better coordination and efficiency. Next, we have the data management. It collects, stores, and processes both clinical and financial data. This allows hospitals to keep track of patient records, billing information, and even inventory management. Then, last, we have the communication, or this ensures that information flows seamlessly between departments. For example, when a patient is admitted, their information is instantly available to the nursing staff, doctors, and billing departments. Next, we have Nursing Information System. So, what is a nursing information system and what are its purposes in healthcare? These are computer systems that manage clinical data from a variety of healthcare environments and are made available in a timely and orderly fashion to aid nurses in improving patient care. This somehow serves as a logbook for nurses, but with much ease compared to the previous times. So itong NIS, isa siyang specialized computer system na nagde-design to manage clinical data across various healthcare environments. So imagine a digital logbook that not only records patient information but also organizes in a way that it is accessible and actionable for nurses. This system significantly enhances the efficiency of patient care compared to traditional methods. And it is part of the healthcare information system that deals with nursing aspects, particularly the maintenance of the nursing record, or rather than searching for a colossal number of paper documents about patient records, with today's innovation, we can look it up at the computer. So itong NIS is crucial component of the broader healthcare information system kasi nag-focus siya especially on nursing. Next, we have the purposes. First, to make relevant patient data available in a usable form so patient care problems can be solved. This ensures that pertinent patient information is readily available in a usable format. This accessibility allows nurses to identify and address patient care problems more effectively. For instance, if a nurse needs to check a patient's medication history, they can do so instantly, leading to timely interventions. Next, to process information to support management functions such as receiving data from departments and supplying data to departments to make policy decisions, operating decisions, as well as patient care decisions. For example, if a hospital needs to assess patient admission rates, the NIS can provide real-time data to help management make strategic decisions. Next, the third one, we have to provide It provides a comprehensive automated information processing system for all phases of the nursing process. This includes the assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. By automating these processes, nurses and doctors can focus more on patient care rather than administrative tasks. Then lastly, to develop care plan for families and patients. One of the critical functions of NIS is to assist in developing care plans for patients and their families. So, by analyzing patient data, nurses can create tailored care plans that address individual needs, ensuring that each patient receives personalized attention. Next reporter, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Janely Valio. So first, let's define healthcare system. Healthcare system is what we call the general management system that ensure people receive proper medical care. One example of healthcare system na ini-implement ay ang expanded program on immunization in the Philippines. And EPI provides free vaccines to protect children from diseases like measles, polio, and tuberculosis. And ang DOH ang nangangasiwa para siguraduhin na may mga bakuna sa mga public health centers. And dahil dito, naiiwasan natin or na-prevent natin ang outbreaks and nai-improve ang overall public health. So, sa mas madaling salita, ang healthcare system ay hindi lang tungkol sa paggagamot ng mga may sakit, kundi pati na rin sa pag-iwas sa sakit para mas maraming buhay ang mailigtas. Now, we're going to proceed in healthcare team. Next slide, please. No matter how well a healthcare system is, it wouldn't be effective without the people who provide medical services. This is where the healthcare team comes in. They are the group of professionals working together to keep people healthy and treat those who are sick. Now let's understand their roles in providing care. First, we have the doctors or physicians. So what does doctors do? They check the patient, they ask about the symptoms, check the body, and sometimes they use medical tools like stethoscope to listen to the heart. They also diagnose the illnesses, they figure out what's wrong by looking at the symptoms, medical history, and test results. They also give treatment, and once they know the problem, they prescribe medicine, they perform or suggest surgery if needed. Next is physician assistants. PAs can perform many of the same tasks as doctors but must work under a physician supervision. PAs do not have the same authority as doctors and must follow certain restrictions. They do not perform complex surgeries, they only assist in procedures. They do not lead medical teams or make final decisions in critical cases. Next is nurses. Nurses, or us in the near future. There are different types of nurses. First is licensed practical nurses, and their education typically requires about 1 year of nursing education and passing the NCLEX PN exam. Their role include providing basic nursing care under the supervisions of registered nurses and doctors. Their duties include assisting patient with daily activities, monitoring vital signs, administer basic medical treatments. But in the Philippines, this role does not officially exist. Instead, nursing assistant or caregivers perform similar duties under the supervision of RNs. Next is the RNs, which requires, back muna guys, requires bachelor degree in nursing and passing the PNLE exam. Their role includes wider scope of practice and can work more independently compared to LPNs. Their duties include administering medications and treatments, coordinate patient care, and create plans. Next is pharmacists. Pharmacists are expert in the field of medication. They work with physician or physician assistants to ensure new prescriptions that does not interact with patient's current medication. and that the right dosage for a particular medication has been prescribed, and to answer any question that the patient may have about their prescribed medication. Next is dentist. They diagnose and treat problems with teeth and mouth, along with giving advice and administering care to help prevent future problems. They instruct patients about importance of brushing, flossing, fluoride, and other aspects of dental care. So why are they important? Because taking care of your teeth is not just about having a nice smile, but poor dental health can lead to pain, infections, and even serious health problems like heart disease. Dentists help keep our mouths healthy, which is essential for our overall well being. Now we're going to proceed into the next slide, which will be discussed by Mr. Goleng.
Again, I'm Bobby Joshua Eguleng. So we have technologists and technicians, both of whom play a technical role in diagnosing and treating diseases. Next slide. First, we have laboratory technicians who focus on analyzing body fluids and cells. They perform various tests on blood, urine, and other body samples to detect infections, monitor chronic conditions, and assess overall health. Without their expertise, doctors would struggle to make accurate diagnosis and treatment plans. So next slides. For the second, we have radiology technologies, also known as radiographers. They are considered the eyes of medicine because they operating imaging and equipment such as X-rays and CT scans to produce images that aid in diagnosing diseases. And next slide. Lastly, we have pharmacy technicians who work under the supervision of a licensed pharmacist. Their responsibilities include preparing and dispensing medication, maintaining proper inventory, and providing customer services to ensure patients receive the correct prescriptions. They also assist in explaining medication instructions, ensuring patient safety, and preventing harmful drug interactions. In short, technologists and technicians play a big role in healthcare, whether in the laboratory, radiology department, or pharmacy. Their works help doctors and patients every day. Every day, even though they have different jobs, they all have the same goal to make healthcare better and more effective. So, next slide. So, for the next topic, will be presented by Ms. Magrata.
So I'm Charmaine Magratan and I'll be the one that discuss the therapist and rehabilitation specialist. So a therapist or rehabilitation specialist help people recover from physical changes caused by a medical condition, chronic disease, or injury. They are the one na tumutulong sa mga tao na ma-improve and makarecover yung mga person na may physical changes such as postural abnormalities like scoliosis, paralysis or weakness due to stroke, difficulty of walking or gait abnormalities, and many more. We have four rehabilitation specialists, and first in the list is the occupation therapist. Occupation therapists help patients perform tasks needed for everyday living or working. They work with patients who have physical, mental, or developmental disabilities. Occupation therapies helps those in needs na maging independent and productive in their everyday lives. For example, they help stroke patients to learn how to use their hands again. Another one is they help children with autism sa kanilang social needs. Next slide, please. Physical therapist. They help patients when they have an injury, disability, or medical condition that limits their ability to move or function. Physical therapists play a vital role in healthcare kasi they help people move better, feel better, and live better despite physical limitations. Next slide. Respiratory therapists treat and care for patients with breathing problems. In the government hospitals without RT, in terms of nebulization or respiratory problems, nurses or an attending RT tend to administer nebulization therapy. Siyempre, alam naman natin sa mga government hospitals, kulang ang mga staffs natin. So, nurses can provide nebulization as ordered by a physician para ma-ensure natin ang proper dosage and monitoring of patient's response. In private hospitals, RT is the one responsible for nebulizer. Next slide, please. Speech therapists or speech language pathologists. They work with patients who have problems related to speech, communication, or swallowing. Usually handles patients with clients who experience stroke. Nurses can do speech therapy with the assistance of ST. Speech therapies are essential kasi they empower individuals to communicate, connect, and function more effectively in their daily lives. Their work goes beyond speech. They help people na i-express yung mga sarili nila, eat safely, and improve their overall well-being. So for the next topic, didiscuss ni Mr. Justin Sartonis.
Hello, I'm Mark Justin Sertonis, and our next topic is the emotional, social, and spiritual support. Next po. So first, we have a mental health professionals who help patients deal with the emotional impact of illness. This include psychiatrists and psychologists. Psychiatrist is a medical doctors who can diagnose mental health condition and prescribe medications. They help patients manage stress, depressions, or anxiety related to their illness. On the other hand, psychologists, they provide therapy and counseling to help patients cope with their emotions and improve their mental well-being. Next. And next is social workers. Social workers assist patients who struggle financially and help them find resources like medical assistance programs. They also provide emotional support to families who are dealing with difficult diagnoses. Social workers often focus on indigent patients, those who have little to no financial means for medical care. They ensure that no patient is left behind, regardless of their financial situation. Next po. Next is clergy. They visit patients in hospital to pray with them and offer spiritual support. Some people find strength in their faith, and the clergy help them maintain their hope and positivity. Their role is important, especially for patients who believe that healing is not just a physical, but also spiritual. Next po. Apart from medical professionals, hospitals also have administrative and support staff who help facilitate patient care. Administrative and clerical staff, they manage paperwork, schedule appointment, and ensure that hospital process runs smoothly. Next po. And lastly, we have community health workers and patient navigators who serve as a bridge between hospitals and communities. They link patients to primary care providers, health information, health screening, financial assistance, or transportation. This includes worker in barangay and health centers. They refer severe cases in the community to hospital. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sirin. So in these slides, we are diving into the world of IT. And no, they don't just reset your passwords or fix the printer jam. Though let's be honest, that's what most of us think. Let's explore what IT really does and why they deserve more credit. So let me introduce the IT team. IT team. Understanding the role and responsibilities. Babalik mo na yun. IT team, understanding the role and responsibilities of IT in an organization. Next slide. What is IT? IT stands for Information Technology, which involves managing, processing, and securing digital information in our organization, also known as IS, Information Services, or MIS, Management Information Services. It is all about managing, processing, and processing information within a company. So imagine IT as the superheroes of the digital world. Their job is to make sure all system runs smoothly. Without them, businesses would be like a Netflix show stuck buffering forever. IT is not just about computers. It includes software development, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and data management. Every major industry today relies on IT, from healthcare to finance, education, and retail. Next slide, please. Next, we have the three major IT functions. So we have governance, infrastructure, and functionality. Governance, setting rules and guidelines for IT use in a company. So for example, setting up cybersecurity protocols to prevent data breaches. So governance ensures that employees follow secure IT practices, for example, having strong passwords and two-factor authentication. Next, infrastructure, managing hardware, networks, and equipment. So for example, maintaining office servers, internet connection, and computer systems. So infrastructure include not just physical devices, but also cloud computing and virtualization. Lastly, we have functionality, ensuring that all IT services operate smoothly and efficiently. So for example, keeping software updated, troubleshooting issues, and optimizing performance. So functionality is all about involving monitoring system performance and responding to security threats in real time. Next slide, please. Next, we have the IT department and responsibilities. So since many of us think IT is just about fixing computers, resetting passwords, or making sure that Wi-Fi works, but their role is much bigger than that. So more than just troubleshooting, these are the IT's key responsibilities. Next slide, please. So first, we have the IT network responsibility, overseeing the installation and maintenance of computer network systems. IT designs and maintains the entire network infrastructure of a company, making sure all devices are connected efficiently. Next, we have network contingencies, implementing backup plans in case of system failures. So just like a party needs a backup power supply in case of a blackout, IT has emergency plans to keep operations running during technical failures. Next, we have application development, creating and maintaining company software. So IT team build customized software and applications tailored to a company's needs, like inventory system or payroll management. And next we have communication, managing emails, chats, and internal messaging systems. So they handle company emails, messaging systems, and video conferencing tools, ensuring employees stay connected. And next we have company website, developing and maintaining the company website. So IT maintains and updates the company website, ensuring customers and clients can access information anytime. And lastly, we have technical support, assisting users with IT-related issues. So this is like the lifesavers of the office. When a computer crashes or an application won't work, IT helps in to fix it. So the next time you call IT for help, remember they're doing a lot more behind the scenes to keep everything running. So that's it for my part. Thank you. And the next reporter is Ms. Daniela Tabukol.
So, hi, I'm Daniela May Tabukol and I'll be explaining listservs and news group. Next slide. Listservs and news group, these are best used for ongoing conversations. Users benefit most when they go on with some prior knowledge of the subject and or when they are able to participate and listen to debates and ideas in context over an extended period of time. So these are two ways to join into discussions with other people interested in a particular topic, allowing users to engage in discussion over time. These platforms are useful for programs focused on news updates, sharing, and exchanging insights. Next slide, please. So, listserv is a group or list of email addresses among which messages can be exchanged. This is often called mailing lists. These are discussion groups in which members communicate with each other via email. When a user subscribes to a listserv, they join on an electronic mailing list in which every submission sent to the list is forwarded to all other members. So, ang listserv is a system that sends emails to a group of people who are subscribed to a particular list. So, when a member sends an email to the list, it is automatically forwarded to all members that have been subscribed. It is used for discussions, announcement, or sharing information directly through email. Listservs can be open or anyone who wants to subscribe or close you must prove you have the necessary credentials, usually job or experience to belong to the listserv. Next po. There are two types of listservs, which is moderated and unmoderated. So ang moderated, it is generally have a person who looks over messages posted to the list. It is where the messages are checked before being shared or requires permission. Sa unmoderated naman, it is just passed along anything sent. So it allow all messages, even off-topic ones, anyone can subscribe to and reply to emails on these lists. Next po. So uses of listservs. Keep in touch with colleagues. Many professions like journalism or even nurses, there's usually a listserv where you can connect with colleagues, share ideas and discussion work-related topics, share update, tips, and experiences about that particular field. Second is request information, raise concerns. It is a great way to ask for information or share concerns with group of people who have similar interests or professions. Since all members receive emails, it becomes fast and direct way to gather feedback or advice. Receive themes. Some specialty publications or online magazines are only available through listserv subscriptions. By joining, you can receive the latest updates directly in your email. Next slide. So, ito naman po yung news group, which is an online discussion where users post messages like a bulletin board under different topics or threads. It is arranged by category. It collects messages posted to the group and store them so that internet users can log into the new news server to read and retrieve messages. So, when we say bulletin board, it is like where anyone can see and join the conversation. It is generally open to the public with messages available for anyone to read or to respond to. Unlike listservs, news groups don't rely on email. Users access and read messages through a newsreader application or online platform. Next po. So here is the table comparing listserv and newsgroup for further understanding. So ang listserv po is an email routing list where messages are sent to all subscribers, whereas a newsgroup, it is an online discussion forum modeled after bulletin board messages areas. Communication method, it uses email, whereas a newsgroup, it requires a news reader application or online platform to read and post messages. Sa message flow naman po, messages are sent directly to members' emails, whereas sa newsgroup, the users must visit the newsgroup to check for new posts. So that's all. The next slide will be explained by Ms. Tubay.
So hello everyone, I'm Michelle Rose Tubay. Okay, so for the last topic, I'm Michelle Rustube, and now I'm going to discuss about the leadership role of the nurses in the management of nursing information system. So all of us have the capability and talents to become a leader in our own care setting. But in order for us to become a leader, we must possess certain or unique skills, including effective communication, critical thinking, decision making, and most especially is the informatics to support the delivery of safe and effective patient care. So now, next slide po. So now we're going to define a leader. So a leader can influence others through effective communication and insight. So gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, one of the unique skills that a leader must possess is the effective communication. Kasi it is important to have an open communication between the leader and the members in the health setting or the care setting because we are already handling a real patient, a real life. And in nursing, leaders must inspire, advocate, and drive improvements in patient care. So, as a leader, it is your responsibility to look after your members or other staff. Like for example, kapag nakagawa sila ng mali, it is your responsibility to guide them and correct them para sa next situation, alam na nila at mas ma-improve nila yung skills nila. Next slide, please. So next is the leadership role. Nurses play a crucial leadership role in the implementation, management, and optimization of nursing information systems. Their involvement ensures that technology supports clinical practice, enhances patient outcomes, and improves workflow efficiency. So dito sa leadership role, a nurse leader helps manage the nursing information system by making sure it works well, the information encoded is correct, and ensure that other nurses know how to use it to help them with patient care. And also makes their work easier. Like for example, pag i-compare natin sa traditional written orders. Minsan, hindi natin mabasa agad yung doctor's order dahil sa penmanship nila. And kailangan pa natin itong ipabasa sa iba para ma-verify natin yung order, which is time-consuming. And compared sa computerized written order, wala na tayong problema sa penmanship kasi readable na siya. And that makes our work easier. That will lead us now to a better health outcomes and decision making. Next slide, please. And dito naman tayo sa roles of nursing leaders. So there are different roles of a nursing leader. And here's are some roles of a nursing leader. First is the clinical leadership. It is centered on direct patient care, ensuring that nurses are technology effective to maintain patient safety and follow evidence-based practice. Second one is the managerial leadership. It focuses on the system operation, overseeing the implementation of nursing information systems, ensuring data security, proper documentation, and workflow efficiency at an administrative level. So in short, when we say clinical leadership, it is all about guiding the nurses in using technology for patient care, while the managerial leadership, it is all about managing the system that supports nursing operation like the proper documentation and confidentiality. Pag sinabi natin critical leadership, it is more on the action, while the managerial leadership is more on the documentation. Next slide, please. So the next is, leaders are pivotal to technology integration in every area of nursing practice. So nursing leaders in the technology integration, they ensures that technology enhances and improves the patient care and not hinders it. So sa panahon natin ngayon, technology is continuously evolving. That is why leaders, it is their responsibility to provide training and support to ensure smooth transition to new systems, especially sa mga bagong nurses or bagong staff sa isang hospital. And next, leaders developing information skills and competencies. So developing informatics skills. Just like what I have mentioned earlier, technology is continuously evolving. So continuous training on new technologies is a must also to help us improve our skills and competencies. Through this, it will help us understand more about the data management and cybersecurity, which will lead us now to have a better decision making and patient outcomes. So, overall, strong leadership ensures that technology is used not just for record keeping, but as a powerful tool to ensure or to enhance patient safety, improve health efficiency, and support the better clinical decision. And that ends our discussion tonight. Thank you.
So, in conclusion, every team, whether in healthcare, IT, or news groups, plays an essential role in improving our healthcare system. Though their functions differ, they share a common goal to enhance efficiency, accessibility, and patient outcomes. By working together, we create a stronger, more effective healthcare system that benefits everyone. Once again, we are Group 5 of Basin 2A. We hope you learned something new today. Thank you for listening and cooperation.